Today I'm going to be talking to you about Accent, where I am the founder, where every breath tells a story. But the beginning of Accent really is a story of convergence and convergence of technology. Each year I take amazing students who are senior executives to the US to look at where the horizon after this next horizon is coming from technology. And over the years, I've had insight into sectors that are changing, technologies that are transforming, and it was when we were bringing all of this together that I began to see a major shift in our ability to look into the molecular world, into the algorithm world, material science, robotic production, a whole creation of changes that was leading to one thing that fascinated me, and that is the digitizing of a dog's nose. The ability for us to look into what we breathe every day is totally transforming. But for me, bring that back to where I normally live, which is in a world that has a lot of things called cows in it, on our family farms, I was struck by the absolute gap between where the future is and where our food production is. But even more so, even within our sector, there is a line that is a real problem. And that's when it comes to farming versus livestock. And we were not getting the solutions from technology. So I asked myself the question, what industry-critical problems would decoding the breath of a cow solve? Start with the main game. For us, we're breeders. This is one of my Jersey cows that gives me milk at home, and one of the calves. Reproduction management is the key to dairy and grazing profitability. We have to start speaking the language when we look at invention of actual production problems that will change the world. This is the same problem that actually exists in India, America, Europe, reproduction. So what I wanted to do is go, well, what's the key point? It's at an early point, and I needed to understand that. So I started going, right, what's the first thing I need to do? I need to be able to, in our extremely messy environment, get end tidal breath. That's a super rich breath that goes from the blood to the lungs. It has the most biological data, but to collect that is really tricky. So the first thing I had to invent, I can pull this around now, was the ability to do that. And that was complex. But what we were able to do is develop a handheld tool that can collect the breath from the nose of a cow in 10 seconds. The next one was to use the same technologies to decode that breath that are being used for cancer diagnostics, right? So we take the same methods that are really robust, gas chromatology, mass spectra, and we create these breath prints. The next one seemed logical, call NASA. So here's the story about NASA. I'm sitting in our farm office thinking, our sector never gets the money, it's going everywhere else. And all the technology, everyone thinks the sexy stuff's all over here, and the farm just gets to have like the basic stuff since the same as the pyramids. And I'm like, there's all this stuff about the Mars mission. That's it. I'm going on the website, I'm going to go through their patent library, because I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for particular molecules that up and down regulate over pregnancy. I know exactly what they are. Surprise, surprise. The Mars mission has been creating an electronic nose technology that I could see the same molecules in human breath as cow breath. Why? We're mammals. So, being a bit bolshy, I'm literally sitting there in the farm office and I email NASA's inquiry line. And I say, hey, do you reckon this could be used for cows? Because two reasons. One, I know what we're looking for, and here's the molecular blueprint. And two, I know that you as NASA have an explicit responsibility to ensure that every dollar spent in space gets returned to important industries for America. Guess what? Ag's big, and ag's suffering, and there's a skill shortage, and we need to do this. Surprise, surprise, within 24 hours they came back to me. 4 years later, we have the exclusive license for the use of the nanosensors that are used in the Mars mission for agriculture. And we've been working with NASA for 4 years. So this is how it works in practice. Oh, the animation's gone out of line. But it takes 10 seconds to take the breath of a cow. It takes 10 seconds to process it over the electronic nose device that I have here. And then on this tiny little chip, and then it gives you the diagnostic, pregnant or empty. on this tiny chip here, which those who know, it's a little PCB. You won't be able to see it really. They're like on a pinhead. There's interdigitated electrodes. On those interdigitated electrodes, there are these materials that respond to the molecules, create electrical current or reduce electrical current. And we use neural network algorithms that didn't exist 2 years ago to predict pregnancy. But why stop there? What's the next question that we could actually answer? Methane. Once you've got breath, what you have is a universal data source. This is now a platform play. That platform play, when you speak to farmers, is it's wasted energy. What do we need? Lower methane for the planet. What do we need? More feed efficiency for farmers. One of the biggest problems is being able to measure it. What could I do? I can create sensor technology that can measure it and suits the farmer world, right? That's it actually happening from one of our sensors in the field. But one of the challenges we have is we need to take the costs out. And this is where we have a fantastic partnership with Macquarie University, with other sensor technology. This is nanofiber. NASA's is nanotubes. It's fantastic. But wait, there's more. I started talking about breath before COVID. Then COVID hit and everyone went, oh, you're not crazy after all. You know, every time we breathe, this is seriously biologically challenging. When we did the trials with NASA, when I flew over to NASA and I drive up to farms, I get bags of cow breath, drive back down to NASA in the Bay Area, I'd open the boot of my car and take bags out, and the scientist put them in the back of their car. No idea what security really thinks of what we were doing. They would take it in. What they did is they used their e-nose that they were doing for COVID on our cow breath. So it has history for disease. So what are we doing now? Well, we've decoded bovine respiratory disease, again, talking to productivity, profitability measures, global issues, and we've now developing the sensor technology for that. But why stop at cow breath? Old MacDonald had a whole farm. They all breathe. This is a platform play. This has the opportunity to really transform livestock. But really, we also have the human piece. The comment here is from NASA last week. We've had to invent the solutions to the whole production of each piece of technology, down to robotically producing the sensors to go to scale. They said to me, they're now licensing the technology for human use, and they're all riding on our coattails. That was a fabulous moment. But this is where the day needs to get interactive, because I really want to help you realize that as the founders stand up here, they're going to be asking things of you, not just having you sit there. So I need to do two things to get us warmed up for that. The first one is I need you all to repeat after me. Accent. Where every breath tells a story. Right, okay? Your task today is to work out that for every company. But more than that, we need investment. We are under huge pressure to flip up to the US. We have a deal on the table now to take us to scale manufacturing, to launch in the US and Australia at the end of the year. We need to be able to manufacture here in Australia and in the US, and we need your support. So please come and talk to me and get involved today. Thank you. I'm Bronwyn Darlington from Accent, where every breath tells a story.